Chosen one. Have you ever felt like quitting? Have you felt the weight pressing so hard on your soul that it seems impossible to keep going? Have you looked at your journey and thought, maybe this is too much for me? But hear me clearly, the chosen cannot quit. Not because the battles are light, but because your life carries destinies. Your perseverance opens doors. Your resistance changes atmospheres, and your decision to remain firm shifts the course of history. The enemy knows he cannot destroy what heaven placed inside of you. That's why he tries to exhaust you, distract you, and break your faith. But every time you whisper, "I will not stop," you are not just surviving. You are prophesying victory over your life. And I ask you, have you underestimated the power of simply continuing when everything inside you screams to stop? Stay with me until the end, because today you will understand why your choice to not give up is the very thing that changes everything in your story. Chosen one, being called by heaven, is not a title. It is a responsibility. Many times you've looked at your life and realized it has never been ordinary. From an early age, you carried an unusual intensity, a deeper sensitivity, a restlessness that never allowed you to settle for less. While others seem satisfied with living day by day, you have always felt that something greater, something unseen, was pulling you toward a destiny far beyond what the eyes can see. This is the weight of being chosen. No matter where you go, the calling finds you. No matter how far you try to run, there are always signs, dreams, pressures, both inside and outside, reminding you that you were not born to live carelessly. And that is why your journey has been different, because you are not guided only by circumstances, but by the destiny heaven wrote before you were born. This weight often translates into battles others cannot understand. The enemy knows who you are, even when you don't yet recognize yourself. He tries to overload your mind, shake your emotions, and even touch your body so that you'll quit before your time. He strikes hardest against the chosen because he knows your endurance changes destinies. But here lies the mystery. The weight is not only a burden, it is also glory. The greater the calling, the greater the pressure, but also the greater the grace that sustains you. What seems too heavy is in truth proof that you are marked to carry what others could not. Heaven does not pick the strongest. Heaven strengthens the ones it chooses. And this is why, in so many moments, you feel the tension inside between stopping and continuing. Because within you burns a flame that no storm can extinguish. That flame is the mark of the chosen. It reminds you, even in your darkest nights, that your life is not only about you. It is about those who will be reached through your perseverance. To be chosen means your endurance is not merely survival. It is prophecy. Every time you remain, even tired, you are releasing a spiritual decree into the unseen. Nothing will stop me, because heaven has marked me. And I ask you, have you recognized the weight you carry? Or have you treated it like chance? Have you seen your struggles as injustice, when in fact they are proof that you have been set apart? Chosen one, do not see this weight as punishment. See it as a sign. If the battle is heavy, it is because the purpose is greater. If the pressure is intense, it is because the glory that is coming will be even stronger. The weight of being chosen is not meant to destroy you. It is molding you for what has already been prepared. Chosen one, have you ever noticed that the enemy is not afraid of your temporary joy, your passing victories, or even your material achievements. What he truly fears is your endurance, because he knows that a chosen one who endures, even tired, even wounded, even weeping, becomes unstoppable. That is why his greatest strategy is not always to destroy you all at once, but to wear you down little by little until you quit on your own. The enemy knows he cannot erase what heaven has written. He cannot cancel your calling. He cannot undo the seal that was placed upon your life. So instead, he tries to weaken your will, to drain your spirit, to exhaust your mind. He repeats cycles, reopens old wounds, and surrounds you with battles that feel endless. Not because he only wants you to suffer, but because he fears what will happen if you keep standing. He whispers lies into your thoughts. You won't make it. It's better to give up now. Nothing will change. He weighs on your emotions, sending discouragement, apathy, and sadness without cause. He even touches your body with unexplainable weariness, heaviness without reason, pains with no clear source. All of these are tactics to weaken you, because the enemy knows a tired, chosen one is a chosen one about to explode in victory. And he will do everything to stop that explosion from ever happening. But here is the mystery. Every time the enemy tries to steal your strength, heaven releases more grace. That is why, even when you think you cannot go on, suddenly a spark of courage rises inside you. You don't even know where it comes from, but you keep moving forward. That strength does not come from you. It comes from an inexhaustible source above. And what you may not realize is that this battle is not only yours. It is collective. Across the world, many chosen ones are under similar attacks at the same time. Why? Because heaven is preparing a greater release, and the enemy panics when he sees what is about to happen. He attacks in waves because he fears what will be unleashed when the chosen endure together. Think for a moment. How many times were you on the verge of giving up, and yet you didn't? How many times did you believe you had no more energy, but something deep inside pushed you forward? That was not coincident. That was heaven sustaining you when the enemy tried to drain what was yours. Chosen one, understand this truth. The enemy can weaken your body, pressure your mind, and stir your emotions, but he can never extinguish the fire that heaven placed within you. Because every time he tries to steal your strength, you prove that your strength is not natural, but spiritual. And that changes everything. Chosen one, there is a secret hidden in the spiritual realm that few truly understand. Perseverance is more powerful than brute strength, more transformative than speed, more decisive than any human talent. The enemy does not fear people who start something with passion. He fears those who, even in the fire, refuse to give up. Perseverance releases a sound in the invisible realm, a code that shakes the heavens and awakens promises that seemed dormant. The world glorifies quick victories, sudden achievements, and overnight success. But heaven crowns those who endure. That is why Jesus declared, "He who endures to the end will be saved." Notice, not the one who begins, not the one who tries for a while, but the one who endures. This is the mystery that sustains the chosen. Every time you decide to keep going, even in weakness, you are unlocking doors that can only be opened through perseverance. To persevere is to declare day after day, "My faith is stronger than my pain. My promise is greater than my discouragement. My purpose is worth more than my tears." Perseverance is not passive. It is active prophecy. Each step forward is a decree in the Spirit that says, I am still standing, and I will see the glory of God in my life. The enemy cannot comprehend this. He believes that by repeating his attacks, by intensifying the pressure, by filling your path with obstacles, you will surrender. But when he sees you rise again after every fall, pray again after every silent night, worship again in the middle of pain, he is forced to step back. Because he realizes that the fire burning inside of you does not come from this world, and therefore cannot be extinguished by this world. Chosen one, each moment of perseverance is written as testimony in heaven. Every night you chose prayer over despair. Every day you carried on despite exhaustion. Every yes you gave to God when everything screamed no. All of it is counted as spiritual seed. And here is the mystery. Those seeds never die. They sprout in due time, bringing a harvest of victory, not only for you, but for many who will be strengthened by your story. How many times did you think your struggle was invisible, yet someone found strength simply by watching you endure? How many times did your perseverance inspire someone you didn't even know was watching? This is the hidden power of endurance. It multiplies courage. Your perseverance is not just about your own destiny. It releases hope for countless others connected to your journey. And I ask you, have you underestimated the greatness of simply remaining? Have you seen it as mere survival, when in reality it is proof that you already carry victory within you? Chosen one, perseverance is heaven's fingerprint on your soul. It is evidence that God's Spirit is alive in you. The enemy cannot imitate it, and the world cannot explain it. It is supernatural. That is why the chosen often walk with scars, but never with chains. They may be pressed, but they are not crushed. They may be struck, but they are not destroyed. Because perseverance is the invisible shield that holds them up until the promise arrives. And here is the truth you must hold on to. Every time you persevere, you are not just surviving the storm. You are prophesying the sunrise. You are not just resisting pain. You are birthing glory. You are not just standing. You are shaking the unseen world with the sound of your endurance. This is the great mystery. Perseverance is not weakness. It is strength disguised in silence. It is heaven's weapon in the hands of the chosen. And when you choose to endure, you are already declaring that victory is inevitable. Chosen one, there is a mystery hidden in the Spirit. Every time you choose not to give up, when everything inside of you is screaming to stop, that simple act becomes a living prophecy. Refusing to quit is not just endurance. It is a decree. It is a declaration that your life is aligned with the eternal Word of God, not with temporary circumstances. The enemy expects you to surrender. He believes that if he intensifies the fire, repeats the attacks, and drains your strength long enough, you will collapse. He watches closely, hoping for that moment when you finally say, I can't go on. But when you whisper instead, I will not stop, even through tears and trembling, you release a sound in the spiritual realm that terrifies him. Because those words are not just your own, they echo the voice of heaven, confirming that nothing can cancel what has already been written about you. To the natural eye, not giving up looks small. It looks like just another day of survival. But in the unseen world, it is thunder. It is prophecy in action. It is you declaring without speaking a sermon that the one who promised is faithful and his word will not fail. Every time you rise after a fall, you are prophesying resurrection. Every time you worship in the middle of pain, you are prophesying breakthrough. Every time you keep walking when your feet feel too heavy, you are prophesying that destiny is stronger than delay. Chosen one, understand this. Prophecy is not only spoken with words. Prophecy is lived out in decisions. And when you decide not to quit, your very life becomes a message to the world, to the enemy, and to heaven itself. I trust him. I believe him. I will remain until the end. Think about this. How many times have you thought you were simply holding on for yourself, but later realized others were strengthened because you didn't give up? That is prophecy. Your endurance becomes a living message for people around you. Sometimes, for people you don't even know are watching. The silent yes you gave in the middle of your trial sent ripples through the spirit, touching lives far beyond your sight. The enemy tries to convince you that nothing changes when you endure. He whispers, "What's the point? You're still in the same place. Nothing has shifted." But that is a lie, because every time you stay, something shifts. Chains break quietly. Atmospheres bend. Cycles are interrupted. And though you may not see it instantly, heaven is recording every act of endurance as prophecy fulfilled in advance. And I ask you, have you looked at your perseverance as weakness, when in truth it is a prophecy of victory? Have you considered your tears wasted, when in reality they are the ink, writing the testimony of your future? Chosen one, you need to see your not giving up as sacred. It is more than stubbornness. It is worship. It is more than survival. It is intercession. It is more than your willpower. It is heaven, declaring through your life, the promise is alive, the future is secure, the victory is certain. Your refusal to quit is the greatest weapon in this battle. The enemy can touch your body, pressure your mind, stir your emotion, but he cannot break a chosen one who refuses to give up. And every time you endure, you prove that your faith is not in what you see, but in the one who called you. That is why you must not despise the power of continuing. To the world, it may look like you are just holding on, but to heaven, you are declaring the future. To the enemy, you are announcing his defeat. And to yourself, you are engraving the truth that you were never meant to be broken. So, chosen one, hear this. When you do not give up, you are not only surviving, you are prophesying. You are decreeing that your story will end in victory, that your calling will be fulfilled, that your destiny will be completed. And no storm, no delay, no opposition can silence the prophecy of a chosen one who decides to remain. Chosen one, there is a pattern in the spirit that never fails. The darkest nights always precede the brightest dawns. The enemy always fights hardest right before the release. And if lately your battles have intensified, your strength feels drained, and everything seems to be collapsing, it may not be a sign of defeat. It may be the clearest evidence that your breakthrough is near. The first sign is the inexplicable discomfort. Suddenly, what used to satisfy you no longer does. The conversations, places, or habits that once seemed normal now feel heavy, empty, or even irritating. This is not coincidence. It is heaven shifting your spirit, preparing you for the new. That inner restlessness is a divine alarm telling you you don't belong to the old season anymore. Something greater is about to begin. The second sign is the multiplied attack. The enemy is not reckless. He does not waste energy. When his assaults increase without reason, more discouragement, more sudden chaos, more strange opposition, it is because he senses what is about to be released over your life. He fears your next step. He knows that if you keep moving, doors will open, promises will manifest, and destinies will align. So he panics, throwing distractions and battles at you in a desperate attempt to stop what he cannot control. The third sign is unusual exhaustion. You wake up tired, even after rest. Small tasks feel like mountains. This heaviness is often not natural. It is spiritual. There is a battle raging in the unseen over your destiny, and your spirit feels the weight of it. But here is the good news. Exhaustion always precedes renewal. Heaven is about to breathe fresh strength into you. When you least expect it, a supernatural wind will lift you higher than before, and you'll realize that what you thought was your breaking point was actually your birthing point. Another sign is the shifting of connections. As one season ends and another begins, heaven removes certain people from your path and introduces new ones. Sometimes this feels painful, like rejection or loss, but it is actually divine protection. Those who cannot walk with you into the next level are released, and those who are hidden for your future suddenly appear. These divine connections carry keys, encouragement, and even opportunities that will be vital for your breakthrough. The fifth sign is the intensification of dreams and spiritual signals. When breakthrough is near, heaven speaks more clearly. You may begin to have vivid dreams, sudden visions, or constant confirmations through scriptures, songs, or even strangers' words. These are not random. They are heaven's way of saying, stay ready. The shift is closer than you think, and perhaps the most profound sign is the peace in the middle of chaos. When everything seems to fall apart around you, but an unexplainable calm remains within you, know this, that peace is supernatural. It is not denial, it is confirmation. It is God's whisper saying, do not fear. I am here. The promise is unfolding. Chosen one, let me ask you, have you seen these signs and mistaken them for failure? Have you cried over closed doors, unaware they were making space for something bigger? Have you felt abandoned, not realizing heaven was reorganizing your life for the promise? Do not misinterpret the signs. The discomfort is preparation. The attack is confirmation. The exhaustion is transition. The shifting is alignment. The dreams are guidance. The peace is proof. So when everything seems to get harder, don't panic. Celebrate in faith. Because the enemy only fights what he fears. And the pressure you feel now is not the end of your story. It is the evidence that the greatest chapter is about to begin. Chosen one, lift your eyes. The signs are all around you. Heaven is shouting, the breakthrough is closer than you imagine. Chosen one, you may feel invisible at times. You may believe that your battles go unnoticed, that your tears in the quiet of the night vanish into silence, that your perseverance is unseen. But the truth is deeper than you think. Your resistance is not only sustaining your life, it is inspiring countless others who watch you, often silently, often from the shadows. Every chosen carries an invisible audience. Some are people close to you who admire your strength without ever saying it. Others are distant, strangers, acquaintances, even people you don't know are watching. And beyond that, there is a heavenly audience, angels and witnesses in the spirit who testify of your endurance. You may not preach from a pulpit, you may not carry a microphone, but your life is a living sermon. Every time you say, "I will not quit," even with trembling lips, you are proclaiming a gospel more powerful than many words. The enemy tries to convince you that your journey has no impact, that your fight is personal and meaningless. He wants you to believe the lie. No one cares, no one sees, no one is strengthened by what you're enduring. But he lies precisely because he fears the opposite truth. Every act of perseverance is contagious. Every time you stand, someone else finds the courage to rise. Every time you endure, someone else decides not to give up. Your resistance creates ripples that spread far beyond your reach. Think about this. How many times were you strengthened simply by watching someone else remain faithful in their storm? You didn't need their words. Their posture was enough. Their tears, mixed with their unwavering stance, preached louder than any sermon. In the same way, your life is doing that for others right now. People you don't even realize are looking at you and thinking, if they didn't quit, I won't quit either. Chosen one, your endurance is a testimony written in silence, but read by multitudes. It is the kind of testimony that heaven multiplies. You may think you're simply surviving another day, but in the unseen world, you are lighting torches for others to find their way. You are proof that faith is real, that God sustains, that perseverance is possible. And I ask you, have you underestimated the influence of your own resistance? Have you thought of yourself as insignificant when heaven is using you as a signpost of hope? Every time you choose to endure, your children, your family, your friends, and even complete strangers are impacted. They may never tell you, but they draw strength from your decision. They watch your wounds, your scars, your struggles, and yet see you keep moving forward. And in that moment, they know perseverance is possible. Hope is alive. God is real. Your resistance is also prophetic teaching. Without opening your mouth, you are declaring faith is greater than fear. Destiny is stronger than delay. Love is more powerful than pain. And these declarations travel through your actions into the hearts of others who desperately needed that reminder. The enemy hates this. He doesn't just want to see you fall. He wants to silence your influence. He knows that if he breaks you, he discourages many. But every time you endure, you frustrate his schemes. Because not only do you survive, you ignite courage in others. Chosen one, never underestimate the power of your testimony. Even the nights when you felt weakest, someone was inspired simply because you showed up again. Even the days when you whispered prayers through tears, someone else decided to pray again too. Even in your silence, your endurance is shouting hope. This is why your life matters. This is why your resistance is sacred. It is not just about you. It is about the countless lives that will never be the same because they saw you refuse to quit. So keep standing, keep fighting, keep believing. Because your resistance is not just survival. It is inspiration, it is prophecy, it is legacy. Chosen one, everything we have walked through together leads us here. The victory does not belong to the fastest, nor to the strongest, nor to the most gifted. The victory belongs to those who remain. The crown is not placed on the head of the one who started the race with passion and fire, but on the one who crosses the finish line, even if limping, even if wounded, even if crawling but refusing to quit. You may look back over your journey and see scars, mistakes, tears, and countless battles. You may see moments when you felt too weak, too lost, or too broken, but heaven does not call those moments defeat. Heaven calls them testimony. Every scar is proof that the fire did not consume you. Every tear is a seed sown into eternity. Every time you stood again, no matter how many times you fell, you were writing your victory story. The enemy expected to watch you collapse permanently. He thought the weight of the trials would bury you. That discouragement would silence you. That exhaustion would take you out of the race. But here you are, still standing. Maybe weary, maybe scarred, but standing. And that alone is proof of your victory. Because the greatest triumph of a chosen one is not that they never fall, but that they always rise. Victory for the chosen is not measured by applause, wealth, or recognition. It is measured by faithfulness. It is sealed in the Spirit when you decide, once and for all, that you will not be moved from the path written for you. That decision shifts atmospheres. That decision shakes the unseen. That decision terrifies the enemy more than any weapon you could hold. And I ask you, how many times did you think you were only surviving another day, when in reality you were conquering ground in the Spirit? How many times did you feel weak when heaven was actually crowning you with unseen strength? Chosen one, your victory is not coming. It is already here. Every day you have chosen to remain has already established your triumph. The fulfillment you will see in the natural is simply the manifestation of what has already been decreed in the spiritual. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The cross already sealed it. Your endurance only proves it. This is why you must never despise the power of continuing, even in silence, even in weakness, even in loneliness. Every time you keep going, heaven writes another line in your story of triumph. Every time you resist, another chain breaks. Every time you endure, another promise moves closer to its fulfillment. And do not forget, your victory will not only bless you, it will bless generations. Your children, your family, your community, and even people you will never meet will reap from the fruit of your perseverance. Because chosen ones do not endure only for themselves, they endure for destinies attached to them. So hear this final decree. The victory belongs to those who remain, and you, yes, you, are one of them. You are proof that perseverance pays off. You are testimony that faith triumphs over fear. You are living prophecy that endurance leads to glory. Chosen one, lift your head, wipe your tears, straighten your shoulders. The race is not over, but your victory is already written. Remain, because the crown is already waiting for you.